Hope others are also joining within few minutes. We're waiting for a few minutes for all this to join. Okay, can we start? Can we start?
Yes, we can. Let's start. Others will join us.
Okay, fine. Good afternoon once again, and welcome to our fourth counseling session that we're talking about. We're discussing about public health issues and different policies we're talking about. So, in our previous sessions, we have discussed about mental health. Previously, we discussed about health, how complete well-being, physical, mental, social well-being. So also we discussed about mental health, which also talks about a complete well-being, not only the absence of mental disease or illness, rather a complete healthy state of mind that talks about mental health. So mental health and behavioral disorders, a different way we are trying to understand from organic, including symptomic or mental disorders, in which particularly it includes mental and behavioral disorders due to Demonstrable cerebral disorders, either primary or brain pathology are disturbed, or secondary brain dysfunctions due to systemic diseases. So mental disorders happen. So also I have already discussed about psychoactive substance use disorder. This disorder relating to psychoactive substances that we already discussed with examples in our previous counseling session. So also other behavioral disorders we can talk about, or mental and behavioral disorders, particularly mental illness. We can talk about schizophrenia, delusional disorders. So also mood disorders. We are also talking bipolar disorders. So mood swing problems. And there are also certain disorders which are neurotic or stress related disorders. All of us, we also understand stress as one of the important mental health issue in contemporary time, in today's time. Particularly young people are suffering from this kind of stress, academic stress, professional stress. Even they're not able to cope up with their family life. So one hand family life, second hand professional job, everywhere there is time bound delivery of services, right from family setup to the professional life. The professionals are expected to perform. So every time we are coming across this kind of example of stress. So also different type of disorder of adult personality and behavior is also found, and mental retardation. I have discussed you in the last discussion about mental retardation. This is very critical, particularly found among children, and the entire life becomes, I'm not saying if the life becomes very problematic, not only for the person, mentally retarded person, but more problem for the attendants, caregivers, those who are giving care and support in the family, starting from the parents, particularly the parents. The group include disorder with arrested and incomplete development of intellectual abilities and adaptive behavior, which may or may not be associated with other physical or mental disorder. So here in a condition, intellectual level is not properly developed. So and the patients, particularly patients with mental retardation, they are not able to perform very intellectually. Sometimes completely mentally retarded children, particularly people, they are completely dependent on the caregivers, the parents, the family. And you imagine a family which that has having a child or a person with mental retardation. That is also, there are also different levels of retardation. I'm talking about severe retardation, complete mental retardation. You just imagine the criticality of that family, how difficulties the families will be facing in order to give proper care. Care means daily activities, bathing, combing, toilet, and all those that become very hectic, very stressful for not only for that person but also for the caregiver or the attendants or the family members. So the family members uh, also need the family members, the caregivers, they also need time to time need mental support, counseling. So I'm just trying to discuss the role of social workers also. So in every critical situation, every needful situation, being a social worker, we need to identify our roles. What will be our roles, how effectively we can deliver our services, so that we can ensure happiness in the community, in the society. You just imagine a family having a person with mental retardation. Do you feel the family will be in complete stress or in a difficult mental condition? Do you believe? Yes or no?
Yeah, there will be much stress.
And they need support, mental support again, because taking care of mentally retarded person again is very difficult, very difficult. We can say yes, people are taking care. No, it's not so easy. It's not so easy. And again, always it moves on in the minds of those parents who are having such child. The stress they have, what will happen to this person after my death, after I die. This is another severe money stress a person undergoes. I have seen different families. You must have also come across different cases. So other is disorder of psychological development, that is particularly among children. So child psychiatric case. So the child will not be developing as per the age. As per the age, learning will be becoming difficult. Learning. I have discussed about autism in the previous class also. So learning disorders are also found. Learning disorders. The child is not able to learn as per the age. 6 years of age, not performing. 8 years of age, not performing as per the age. So every age, so once the baby grows, so also his or her mental ability grows. If mental ability or intellectual ability, cognitive ability is not growing, that means that again comes to a situation when the child has to be consulted with the psychiatrist or psychologist for therapies, for treatment. In certain cases, treatment goes on for long time. For autism, the treatment moves on for longer period of time. And I have visited to different autistic clinics, private autistic clinics, and I have some friends also, psychologist friends. I have learned, I have experienced and seen different examples in their clinics. Just you see, writing A, B, C, D like alphabets. When a child is able to write only A, that may have taken the therapist about the time of not less than 1 year, 6 months. And I have seen parents coming with sweets to distribute because the child has only called mummy, papa, means father and mother. Mummy, papa in India, mummy means mother. You must be understanding, and papa means father. So once the baby is calling or addressing parents as mummy and papa, they distribute sweets. I have seen. That is the level of situation a parent undergoes when they have a baby like this who is not having intellectual growth, intellectual development, not having intellectual development. These are the important medical psychiatric conditions and the problems uh, people are suffering. And India being the world's largest populous country, India was the second highest populous country next to China, but recently India has crossed China in its population, size of the population. So one of the biggest populous or the biggest country of the world, having the largest having the largest population in the world. So also the number of cases of diseases are also high, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, yes, is it?
So once any country will be having larger population, so the number of sick and diseased person will may also be big in volume, big in size. The way India is having the largest population, so also India is having large, one of the largest population suffering from mental health. So according to World Mental Health Atlas 2017, there are only 0.29 psychiatrists per lakh Indian population. You just imagine, for every 1 lakh population, not even a single psychiatrist. 0.29, not even one. You see, because it is not so easy to produce super specialist doctor overnight. Even if India has tried level best to produce experts, medical doctors, super specialists, but creating so super specialists like psychiatrists, that too for largest population of the world, is not so easy. So in 2014 to 16, low income countries, all the low income countries, which will include African countries also, had zero point 0.1 psychiatrist and zero point 0.3 psychiatric nurses per lakh population or people. You just imagine how not only India, also different low income countries are suffering from not having professionals, psychiatrists, psychiatric nurses, or the nurses to work in psychiatric hospitals, psychiatric settings. So also psychiatric social workers. So if we count psychiatric social workers, the ratio will not be able to count because it's so low. It's so low. There are MSW people, BSW people, but when we're talking about specialization, then it comes to, you see, one, you will not be able to count. The number is so low. So there is great opportunity space left behind for you, the people, we the people, those who are into social work profession. Academically, we are learning BSW, MSW, and doing PhDs. And psychiatry, so this is the situation globally and nationally also. So it is now, we can talk about community level psychiatric system. So because we have to ensure different mental health professionals to be engaged in community level to take care of mental health issues, and you must be experiencing different kind of psychiatric cases, like those with we have already discussed about mental illness, mental disabilities, disorders. So also suicides, farmers are committing suicides. So also young people, particularly young people, are committing suicides. So General Captain 1966 defined the basic model of community mental health and emphasized on the following characteristics of community psychiatry: that responsibility to a population for mental health care, treatment close to a patient in community-based center, provision of comprehensive services, multidisciplinary team approach, providing continuity of care, emphasis on prevention as well as treatment, avoidance of unnecessary hospitalization. So these are the important characteristics we have to engage with the community so that we can both provide treatment, that is treatment support, that is called curative services. So also preventive care and preventive services are also required. Preventive services. We will work in a at community level so that we can prevent mental health issues. We will create a system in which the issues of mental health can be minimized and reduced. Different policies, programs are also being framed nationally in order to tackle the mental health issues. Although I will say that all these programs and policies are not sufficient, but still, government has tried to formulate different policies and different mental health programs. Different hospitals are set up. Nimhans, Nimhans, you can Google and see one of the renowned and the best mental care institute in the country. So also CIP, Center of Psychiatry, located in Jharkhand, India. Similarly, different other mental health institutes like SCB Medical College in Qatar, they have Center of Excellence for Psychiatric Treatment. So similarly, different headquarter hospitals, they have psychiatrists, they have workforce, medical workforce to work in psychiatric setup. So also psychiatric social work is also being studied in India. In India, MPhil in psychiatric social work and professionals are coming in order to work in mental health setup, and prevention and treatment of mental and neurological disorders and their associated disabilities. I have told that for disabilities, we have RPWD Act, Rights of Person with Disability Act 2016, and under this act, anyone having diagnosed with mental disabilities are also eligible to get the benefits under whatever benefits are designed for PWD, person with disabilities. The treatment is free of cost in government hospitals. And now it is the time we have to actually strengthen community level interventions to create bigger awareness among population that will help reduce the instances of mental illness, so also disabilities and diseases, right from village to district and state level, there is provision of hospitalization and treatment. I've already mentioned about PSCs, primary health care centers, so also CSCs, community health care centers, so also district headquarter hospitals and medical colleges and psychiatric departments. This is how the establishment of different hospitals or medicals and teaching colleges, they are helping in dealing with or helping in dealing with mental health issues. So also NGOs are also working, different rehabilitation centers are also working. You see, despite all the efforts, there are people on roads. There are still people on the roads. They're just wandering because they have lost their mental health. They have gone to a completely schizophrenic case, or completely they are facing mental illness. No dress, no food, nothing else, wandering in roads. facing all disability, climate crises, facing accidents, even rapes and molestations are also happening in case of women. And to safeguard all these people, different rehabilitation centers are being supported by government, are being run by the NGOs and supported by the government in order to rehabilitate them. So proper care, treatment, if given to them, many patients also come back to a stage when they can remember about their family, for their they can remember who am I. And initially the patient is not able to say who am I, how I have come over here, nothing else. Hairs are so long, dress is so dirty, the person does not know who he or she is. So treatment is being given, and slowly, very slowly, they start recovering also. And once they are recovered completely, they recognize who they are, where they have come from, and reunion. They are connected with their families also. And some people may not be cured of their diseases and retardation or mental illness, not retardation, mental illness. So they again continue in the rehabilitation centers also. Uh, so in all this sector, there is greater role of social workers to play in treatment, in rehabilitation, and in prevention. In one government hospital, mental health department, I observed, I read a very beautiful line in Odia language, regional language of Odisha, one of the Indian languages, one of the Indian languages. Uh, it was written in Odia language. The meaning is, I'm translating it into English. It is that the treatment that we give through medicine is less powerful than the love and care you give to your people in the family or the patients. Did you get me? Did you get me?
Yes.
That means the medical fraternity themselves are accepting that the love and care that we provide to our people in the family is greater than any medications in the hospital. That is the power of love, care, affection. Because many patients, they became patients, mental patients, just because they could not adjust with the family system for any reason. Or somebody may have lost jobs, may have lost some business establishments, may have lost. Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Yes.
audible enough.
Okay. So some people may have lost their jobs, their income. There might be disturbances in the family for many reasons. So adjustmental problem the family might be facing. Adjustmental problem. And in case of women, particularly violence, extreme violence in the family upon women also leads to mental health issues. And unless and until we correct that, medicine won't be working properly. So it is said that modification of the environment. So that means the environment in which the patient lives in. The patient lives in a family setup. In that family, nobody is taking care of that person. The person is feeling very lonely. Ultimately, the person will develop what he or she will develop: anxiety, frustration, nervousness, depression, and all those things. Might be beyond that, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders. So if we are not modifying that environment, or we're not making a conducive environment for that person inside the family, do you think the medicine will be working properly? Yes or no?
Come again to that question, please.
I am telling, for example, one patient is there in a family in which the family is not conducive, not very friendly to the person. For that reason, the person has become mentally ill, and you bring the person to medical or psychiatrist. The psychiatrist prescribes medicines, medications, but the family setup is not modified and has not become conducive to the person. Do you think the medicine will be helping the person to recover?
No,
No,
no, because
because the
yeah,
environment is so, the environment
Yeah,
matters.
yeah. Here in our sociology, social work terminology, we are using modifying the environment, modifying the environment in favor of the person. One thing. Second thing, mental patient or the person we having mental illness, can he or she take the medicines properly by themselves? Can they take medicines of their own?
No, sir. They have to be given for somebody.
Yeah,
No.
somebody has to guide initially. At some stage when they become stable, they can take medicine of their own. But initially, the person has to be supported for medicines also. Supported for medicines also. Number one. Number two, in case of mental illness, patients I have seen hesitating to take medicines. Have you seen that? I'm just clarifying, I'm just simplifying this thing, because many patients will be telling, am I mad? You are giving me medicine for madness. Are you thinking me mad? Have you come
yes,
across this kind of examples?
yes. I've
Yes,
come
sir.
across with
Yes, sir.
that. My friend has passing through the same thing, but he had
Yes.
to go for interview so that we should see whether he's mad or not. So it's good before medication. You should go for what you call interview, so that you should assess the person whether he's indeed a mad person or not. Thank you.
I'm just telling, for example, some patient has diabetes or blood pressure, hypertension, or gastrological issues. You won't hesitate to take medicines. We don't hesitate to take medicines. But once we have mental illness, the patient hesitate, may be a hesitating, because am I mad? I will take this medicine. That is the psychology the person may develop. Because if I take these medicines, what will be people telling about me? People will be thinking I'm a mad person. So we cannot call anybody mad. This is very very disgusting word that goes against the dignity of a person. Dignity of a person. We say mentally ill or sick, but people do not call them like that. People level them, make comments. Even if he or she talks something nicely, he or she will be commented. If not, will be complemented with good things. Number one. Number two, mental health medicines one has to take for longer period of time. It is not like fever, cold. You take 3 days medicines, 5 days medications, and you are cure of your fever, your cold, cough, or some gastrological issues for time being. The medication takes longer period of time, maybe for lifetime, like diabetes, like hypertension. The patient has to take medicine for the whole life. For certain kidney cases, for longer period of time, one has to take medicines. Again, taking the medicine for so long time, 20 years, 30 years, for lifetime, it becomes a very hectic task for the patients. They're demotivated. Okay, now I am well, I am fine, I'll not take medicines. Then after 1 month, you see relapse. After 1 week, you find the person has relapsed. Again, the same mental condition. Again, the same mental condition. The person has relapsed. So, continuation of medicine or treatment in case of a mentally sick person is another challenge. Why I am giving you all this example? Because you can note with your notebook also कि these are the areas where our intervention as social workers are required. Doctors will be simply writing the medicines, you take it, go away. Because you see, in government hospitals there are number of patients, and we know that the number of psychiatrists is very low, very few psychiatrists are there, but patients are huge in numbers. 300 patients per day in a medical college, I have seen 300, 400 patients. 2 3 doctors will be sitting. They have to attend the indoor patient, they have to attend the outdoor patients, and they will also be called by other departments. For example, gastrological department, some patient comes, the patient is not able to sleep properly, or some doctor suspects some medical issues, mental health issues, then doctor will be called on, the psychiatrist doctor, to attend other departments. I have seen in many government hospitals, teaching colleges. So they will be attending those patients also. And there is scarcity of medical professionals. Super specialist doctors are not available in plenty and cannot also be produced. It's not so easy to create well educated professionals or medical professionals, that to super specialists, so easily. It's not so easy job. So these are the important areas where you, me as social workers, you, me as professionals, development workers, we can contribute. So also make psychiatric drug available, give care in community, educate the public. Educate the public means educating public in all these aspects. In which aspects? One thing I forgot to mention all of you, that is, I don't know about Nigeria and other South or African countries, might be the same thing will be happening. Mental health issues are not actually initially understood as a mental health issue. Rather, this is linked to some magic, some witchcrafts. Am I correct? Did you understand what I said?
Yes, you are correct.
So, once somebody has some stomach pain or some headache, some other disease, the people will be easily and comfortably going to the hospitals for treatment, for diagnosis. But once there is mental problem, people will be going to some religious gurus, some religious persons to help them recover, because they think this has happened because of some magic, some witchcrafts, some other supernatural reasons. They will not consider this as mental health issue. So, being a social worker or healthcare professionals or development workers, we need to educate the community on mental health and to respect and accept the patients as human beings first. No comments, oh, labeling them some mad person like that, throwing stones, making fun on them, deploying children to throw stones on them, at them. No, these are not accepted. We have to educate people. And you see, in case of mental illness, divorces are also happening. So once after marriage, the man finds the wife has some mental issue. Treatment they will not go for. They will say, I will divorce this lady. Am I correct?
Very correct, sir.
Yeah.
So, in case of women, the vulnerability is much more. Women, the vulnerability is much more, much more. Establish national policies, program, legislations, involve communities, families, and consumers, link with other sectors, monitor community health, mental health, support more researchers. So there is need of much researchers for mental health so that better treatment, better care, better support system can be given to all those patients with mental illness. Different legislations relating to mental health have already been introduced in the country, like the Indian Lunatic Asylum Act 1858, the Military Lunatic Act 1877, Indian Euthanasia Act 1912, Mental Health Care Act 2017. Different legislations have also been introduced in the country to deal with mental health issues in the country. Continuously speaking for 2 hours actually becoming so hectic. There is also need of health promotion. Acha, what do you mean understand by health promotion or the promotion of health? What do you understand by promotion of health? Any idea?
Okay, promotion of health, generally it's a concept whereby they have to look after the communities in terms of disease, anything has to do with surveillance. It's another concept which is coming from public health, from my understanding.
Okay. Okay. As the products are being promoted, different products are being promoted in the market. So also health has to be promoted. So how can we define health promotion? Health promotion is the process of enabling people to increase control over and improve health. It is not directed against any particular disease, but intended to strengthen host through a variety of approach intervention, as well as non intervention in this area are health education. For example, if you are going to schools, if you are going to schools and organizing ha- events awareness on hand washing, you are organizing awareness on anti smoking, is it not health education? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Please tell. Health education. You're going to the community, you're going to the schools, you're going to anywhere else and talking about personal hygiene. You're talking about no smoking. You're talking about healthy practices. You're talking about no drugs and alcohol. You're talking about nutritional diet, no junk food. So ultimately, you are giving health education. You're talking about diseases like cancer and its prevention. So also we can discuss about environmental modifications, nutritional interventions. I've already talked about this. Nutritional deficiencies. In many cases, we have seen that the person is well fed, but but he or she is not having sufficient nutrition because the person or the child particularly might be taking junk foods, inorganic foods, chemical based foods, and again no food also. And in case of women we see gender based discriminations, the way male members are being fed or provided with good food, women may not be provided the same quantity of food also. Ultimately, it will lead to different diseases and illness and disabilities also. So also we can focus on lifestyle and behavioral patterns and the role of social service in total institutional process. So we talk about intake where the role of the social worker is very much crucial. As a social worker, we help the family with problems that arise from patient's admission, formulates plan which might reduce the urgency of hospitalization and prevent ill advice in admission, begins a relationship with the family which will facilitate their functions in treatment and foster hospital plans. I've already told you the doctors are giving treatment, only medicines. And I've mentioned you that medicines compared to love and affection and care is leisure. Only love and care affection will also not help. That will also require medications. But only medications will also not help. Will also not help. The process of analyzing the patient's situation with a view to determining the cause of his or her disorder, we are helping the persons to get diagnosed properly. Because I mentioned you that many patients they are not in a position to accept as the problem as a problem. One example I must mention with you. As I have mentioned that I have been working for drug de-addiction, so certainly I am working for mental wellness and mental health. One lady came to us who is from extremely poor family. His husband is having some problem just after marriage, few months or years of marriage, like that. They have done love marriage, no family support, neither from the male member nor the female member, no family support. They have come from the village to a city. They were working and surviving. In between, the husband developed some kind of behavior which is not normal. Now the family started blaming. After getting married to this lady, this person luck is damaged. Or this person became unlucky because he has married to this particular lady. The lady is completely blamed. And no family support, neither from husband side nor from wife side. They are not so much educated, and this lady is the single lady now in the family. You believe me, she arranged 20,000 rupees and went to different religious gurus, you can say, for some chanting and you must understand, na? Some chanting and all those by religious persons, but the patient did not cure. Now she came by some chance. I listened the entire story. I just suggested no magic, no ghost, no evil spirit has caused this. This is mental health problem. But I'm assuring you, this can be cured if you go for medical treatment. The lady said, I don't have money right now. I said, no need of money because I'm sending you to government hospital. I just rang up to one of my friend who is serving as a psychiatric social worker, psychiatrist, sorry, psychologist in nearby government hospital. I said, I'm sending one patient. Please help the lady to get treated for her husband. So she went there with her husband, and after only 10 to 12 days of continuous medication, her husband started recovering. And after some days, he came to a normal position. Medicine was going on. As I've mentioned, medication will take few months, year, or like that. Now the lady felt so happy. She said, oh brother, my husband has is now fine. I said, please do not stop medication. You don't think he is completely okay now. You please continue the medication as per the advice of the doctor. And again, that my friend, as a psychologist, she has also done proper counseling. So they took medicines, the patient took medicines and started working. What morals are you getting from this story? A true story. What moral are you getting from this story? Any moral you are getting? Hello.
Hello.
Any moral, any learning you are getting out of this story? I was just mentioning about helping the patient to get diagnosed. I'm not a doctor, but being a social workers, we can also help in diagnosis, in treatment. So in hospital discharge phase, family care, in so many other ways, we can contribute as social workers. As social workers. Now it is for all of you. Please mention or state some roles of social workers in mental health setting. Please, three, four of you are requested to share your ideas. Please. As social worker, what will be your role?
I think from your presentation, we have seen that mental health problems are not considered much of a hospital setting problem because most of the affected people they shy away from taking medicines. So I believe the first step is to make sure that our clients or our community understands that mental health is a serious problem and it can be helped both by compassion and medical treatment. And then we can link these persons with institutions that provide care in the mental health and help them take their medicines and complete their medicines for their well-being.
Very nice. Any other? As social worker, your role in case of mental health setting. Anyone?
Yes. Am I audible?
Please. Yeah,
Am
yeah,
I
yeah,
audible?
sure. Please. Yeah, please
Yes.
carry on. Carry on.
Yeah. Another law of social work and healthy setting, I think, is to collaborate with other healthcare professionals to develop a holistic
Hmm.
understanding of a patient situation. As you have already stated in your scenario or the case study that you have bring to us, that you make a link or collaboration with a psychologist for this woman has husband to be assisted. So I think it's another law to collaborate with other healthcare professionals. Thank you.
Okay. Any other person? Any other person, please? This paper is now completely a practical paper. Now we have to better if you participate and we give the example from our own area. It will be better to understand the things in much better way. I have already discussed many things to help the person in diagnosis, social worker to educate, to create awareness, to help in diagnosis, to help in hospital setup, to give counseling to the patient, to give confidence to the patient, to give confidence and give counseling to the patient's attendant. For example, I have given example for autistic case. You see, imagine the mental status of parents who are having autistic child. They need our support, mental health support, isn't it?
Yeah, is it?
So many things we can think of, creating greater awareness in community level, greater awareness regarding mental health. Because I discussed, firstly, mental health issues are not understood as mental health issue in the community, in the society. People think that some witchcraft, some ghost, some evil spirit, they have caused mental illness or this problem. They do not consider this as a mental health issue. So as mental health professionals, or sorry, as social workers, we can play very crucial role as a facilitator, as a counselor, as an enabler. I give an example. One patient came who does not know that her husband is suffering from mental illness. She does not know where to take, where she can have free treatment, free medical support, free medical consultations. Just connecting with right opportunity, right treatment, you can help the persons. You can help the persons. So this is how you can think of many other roles as a social worker to play in order to help in dealing with mental illness. Apart from this, now we are going to discuss about human disease and kinds of diseases. Can anybody tell diseases? What are the diseases actually? Anyone? Diseases? Can anyone please? Diseases? Nothing? Anything please? Certain diseases are infectious disease. Certain diseases are non-infectious disease. I mean to say, diseases are communicable diseases, while some diseases are non-communicable diseases. Are you getting me? Are all of you getting me? In
Yeah.
fact,
Yes, sir.
non-infectious diseases. Can you some examples of infectious diseases? Can you give some example of infectious diseases?
Yes, sir. Like HIV.
Cancer.
Please,
I said like HIV.
not clearly audible, please.
I said like HIV and AIDS is an infectious disease.
Okay, okay. Any other?
Tuberculosis.
Okay.
Hello?
Tuberculosis. What kind of disease tuberculosis is?
Tuberculosis is a communicable disease.
Okay. Anybody has worked on tuberculosis? Anybody from our this group has worked on tuberculosis? Any of you have ever worked on tuberculosis? Yes or no?
No, no, sir. No, sir.
Okay, okay. Let me discuss you few important things on tuberculosis. That is also there in your course. Tuberculosis is no doubt is understood to be infectious disease, communicable disease. At the same time, some other tuberculosis is not communicable disease. I am explaining you in details. Acha, which are the part of the body that is likely to be affected with tuberculosis? Which part of our body is likely to be affected with tuberculosis?
Lungs.
Lungs. Anyone? Any other idea? Any other idea? Have you come across any patient who is having tuberculosis? Have anybody seen? Has anybody seen?
Yes.
Yes, sir. One of my friends
Okay,
affected with the
okay,
disease.
okay. One of your friend. Tuberculosis are two forms. One is pulmonary TB or pulmonary tuberculosis. Another is extrapulmonary TB. Tuberculosis affects lungs, no doubt in that. The tuberculosis which is affecting our lungs is known as pulmonary TB. So the patient start coughing for more than a week continuously. There will be mild fever. The patient starts becoming so weak, frequently coughing for longer period of time, more than a week. Earlier it was telling 2 weeks, now they are telling 1 week also. One can suspect. This is pulmonary tuberculosis. And this pulmonary tuberculosis is communicable. Is communicable. While as tuberculosis can be seen in any part of the body, any part of the body, internal organism, outside, bone, anywhere, brain, anywhere, tuberculosis can be seen. Any tuberculosis which is not in our lungs is known as extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Am I clear to all of you? Please listen this carefully. Very important. I'll be narrating why this is important from social work point of view. I'm clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So tuberculosis can be possible in any part of human body. Once there is tuberculosis in lungs, this is called pulmonary tuberculosis. This pulmonary tuberculosis is communicable disease. While as in any part of human body, if tuberculosis is seen, is called extrapulmonary tuberculosis. And this extrapulmonary tuberculosis may be in bone, maybe in brain, maybe in other than lungs, intestine, stomach, anywhere, is never communicable disease. Unfortunately, people think once somebody is having tuberculosis means the person can infect others. No, extrapulmonary TB patients cannot infect others. Only the one who is having pulmonary TB. But the cases of pulmonary TB is much higher than this extrapulmonary TB. That is also there is also a reason behind this. What are the reasons? You see, sir, suppose a person is having Long's TB or pulmonary TB, but the person does not know. The person has not taken any medications. He or she is living normally in the family, in the community. The person is going to gathering or not, like railway stations, like some festivals, like in bus stand, going or not? Yes or no? Hello?
Come again, sir. Please come again.
I am telling, I am telling, lungs or pulmonary tuberculosis is communicable. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. You are clear.
Yes.
And tuberculosis in any other part of body is not communicable. But pulmonary TB, which is communicable in nature, is found more in number compared to extrapulmonary TB, which is not communicable. Why? Why? Because, for example, one person is having tuberculosis who is coughing. Through coughing, he or she will spread tuberculosis or not?
He will, sir.
Yes, he or she will. Through
Yes,
coughing, he
yes, sir.
open coughing, he or she will be able to spread tuberculosis. For example, in your community, you have some person who is having tuberculosis who does not know that he is having tuberculosis. Do you think there is chance that this person will create more tuberculosis patient in the family and in the community? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And you see a populous overpopulous country like India, China.
Second.
You see that person who is having tuberculosis and does not know he or she. Please mute, please mute, please mute. So if that person is going to some market, some bus stand, some railway station in India, particularly I'm talking because of huge population, you go to the marketplace, you go to supermarkets, daily markets, you go to bus stops, you go to railway stations, you will find huge gathering, huge population, and somebody is coughing who is having tuberculosis. So there is possibility this person will be spreading tuberculosis to others also. If the person will be properly diagnosed early with tuberculosis and will be provided medicines, and the person has to take medicine seriously for 6 months, then the person can be cured of disease. And in India there is a special tuberculosis elimination government of India program, nationwide program, to control to provide free treatment, free diagnosis. And one of the beautiful thing is that it support person will be provided to the person. The person has not to take medicine. A person will come, will give you the medicine, you have to take the medicine in front of him or her health worker. You see, this is the facility government has provided. All medications, medicines, tests, checkups are completely free of cost because government is aligned with the international agenda for TB free world. 24th March every year is celebrated as World TB Day. World TB Day. And globally, the agenda has said for TB elimination by 2030. By 2030. And before 5 years, India has committed for total TB elimination. I don't know how far India will achieve, how far the world will achieve, but agenda is set. Agenda is set with positive mind, with positive thought that we will eliminate tuberculosis. I understand it is quite difficult. It is quite difficult for poor countries, for those countries who are having low income groups, quite difficult because identifying all TB patients is again a very difficult task, very hectic task. It's not so easy to identify the all TB patients. I mentioned in my previous class that every year globally around 1 crore new TB patients are diagnosed, in which around 24 to 25 lakhs TB patients are diagnosed in India out of this 1 crore population globally. You just imagine how big population, and sorrowfully speaking, out of this 1 crore population globally and 25 lakh population nationally in India, we are leaving behind lakhs of TB patients. We are not able to diagnose them. And even if you diagnose, the patients has have to continue treatment for 6 months. For example, I am telling you another very important story. Please listen this carefully. Important thing. Please listen carefully. Suppose a patient is diagnosed with tuberculosis and he or she will be given treatment. The person takes medicine. Within 2 3 days, he or she will not be able to communicate the disease. He or she will be having the disease for 6 months. He or she has to take the medicines. But after some times of regular taking regular medicines, he or she cannot communicate. Communicate. This is one thing. Second thing, the patient will be coughing, will be feeling very sick, will be having fever, many things. Then the patient starts taking medicines. Within 1 month, 20 days, 2 months, 1.5 months, he or she will feel everything normal. So many patients stops medicines without consulting the doctors. Even if the doctors have told to take the medicines regularly for 6 months, but the patient feels I am okay now. There is no need of take medicines. One thing. Second thing, there are tremendous side effects of the medicines also. The patients will be feeling vomiting, will be feeling very sick, will be feeling headache, many short term side effects. The patient think that when I am taking these medicines, I am having these side effects, so I'll not take these medicines. The patient stops medicines. And you see, the important thing now I will be telling to you. Once the person stops medicines, not continuous medicine till the end of 6 months or with till the doctor announces that the patient is now cured. If the person stops medications in between, in 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, like that, then the patient will develop another TB, which will take time for treatment of 2 years. 2 years. It was requiring 6 months. Now that TB will take 2 years of treatment. And here the possibility of survival was much higher. But at that time, the possibility of survival of the patient is 50% or like that. So, as a social worker, what will be our role? Our role is creating greater awareness regarding tuberculosis, that I am telling. What is TB? How TB spreads? What are the etiquettes of TB patients? What will be the behavior of TB patients? Will the person openly spit, or will the patient will move on while coughing without any mask? What kind of hygiene and health hygiene the patient has to adopt? The patient is taking medicine as well as taking alcohol. The patient is taking medicine as well as smoking. Do you think the person will survive? Yes or no?
No, because
When the person is all, yes, when the patient is already infected with tuberculosis, lungs are affected. At the same time, he or she is taking medicines and smoking. That means medicines won't work properly. So it is said that fighting TB and tobacco together. Together, we have to fight tuberculosis and tobacco together. That is important message. So we have to create that kind of awareness in the community so that people will change their lifestyle, modify their lifestyle. Number one. Number two, having tuberculosis, the patient has to take nutritional food. For that, Government of India is providing Nixia support. You can go to TB control elimination program Government of India, you can find how many things are being done. So 500 rupees support to the TB patient to take nutritional food. Let us communicate to the community. With this 200 500 rupees, they should take what kind of nutritional food? Eggs, fish, vegetables, green vegetables, or what? Or they will be spending this 500 rupees for chewing tobacco or smoking tobacco or alcohol. We have to sensitize. So also we have to sensitize the population. Don't stop medicine for 5 6 months, because if they stop TB treatment, then complication will be much more. That is called MDR TB, multi drug resistant TB, which is more dangerous than this TB if you stop medications. Now, are you understanding your role as social worker to fight tuberculosis? To fight tuberculosis.
Sir.
So, as social worker, we have tremendous role to work for TB elimination in the world. So, we can start from our family, we can start from our village, our locality, our areas. We'll spread awareness. If less ventilated rooms are there, no ventilation, rooms are not ventilated, there is possibility of tuberculosis. There is possibility. I mentioned country like India having larger population, so latent TB is already there. Means TB virus is there already in maximum people, but our immunity system has covered and protected us. Once we are sick, once our immunity decreases, TB will attack. So let us spread awareness on healthy habits. No smoking, no drugs, no alcohol, nutritional food, exercise, physical activities to live stress-free life. And again, comorbidities like diabetes, cancer, HIV/AIDS infections, HIV/AIDS. If the patient is having diabetes, is having like cancer, like HIV, they are more prone to tuberculosis, more prone to tuberculosis because the infections they cannot resist, they cannot face. So we have to ensure the awareness and we have to give efforts for the prevention of other comorbidities. You must have observed during COVID-19, those patients who are having comorbidities like diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, they died. They died. Those who did not have comorbidities like heart disease, kidney disease, diabetes, they survived. Most of them survived with COVID infections. But those having this disease, they faced problems. Similarly, COVID patient with tuberculosis, they suffered a lot. Cancer, they suffered a lot. Again, lungs cancer, they did not survive. They did not survive. So all these are interlinked and interrelated. So for public health, we have to engage in a greater mode, greater mode. So I discussed about communicable disease and non-communicable disease I have not discussed. I'm just discussing on tuberculosis. So also leprosy. So also leprosy. So also HIV and AIDS. Your role as social worker is much bigger than even I am telling than medical teams. Why? Why? Because these communicable diseases particularly, we have to fight with two things. One is the disease, another is stigma. What is stigma? Stigma, do you understand? We have to fight with two things. One is the disease. You have to fight with TB. You have to fight with leprosy. You have to fight with COVID-19. As well as you have to fight with stigma. What is stigma? Stigma means wrong belief. Once somebody is diagnosed with some disease, is boycotted in the society, in the community, boycotted. Have you felt during COVID? Have you felt during COVID? Yes or no?
Sorry, come again.
I am telling, during COVID, have you seen that people with COVID were boycotted in the society?
Yes.
So also happened in the society in case of leprosy, in case of HIV. Once some person is affected with HIV, do you feel people will look them with prestige or they will be looked down?
They will look down upon them. So
They are
that's
looked
why,
down.
yeah, that's
Yes, there is,
why it's when someone is HIV positive, it has to be confidential to avoid that.
yeah, that stigma associated with TB, with HIV, with your leprosy. So as social worker, we have to create greater awareness against stigma, so that the persons with tuberculosis, with leprosy, with, they will feel confident. They will feel confident, and we can support them in their treatment also. In their treatment, this is how, as social worker, we can play greater role in minimizing the diseases. We are stopping here for 10 minutes. Actually, I'm feeling very, stopping for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we'll start. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Noted.
So welcome back. Are you there all?
Yes, we are here.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, so there are different government initiatives, government programs are being run for these communicable diseases like tuberculosis elimination program. Target is set. So also for HIV infections, HIV and AIDS, National AIDS Control Program, NACO, NACO, NACO has been established. National AIDS Control Organization have been established. Treatment is given free of cost. ART medicines, ART centers are established across the country. Across the country, awareness programs are being undertaken. NGOs are collaborated. NGOs are collaborated so that greater awareness at community level can be done for stopping HIV and AIDS. Different programs like TI, targeted interventions, for especially more vulnerable communities like truck drivers, sex workers, this population. Different targeted intervention programs are being also done by the government in association with CSOs, NGOs in the country, in the state like Odisha I'm talking about. So despite NACO, different state governments, they have also established organizations to work for HIV/AIDS, like OSACs in Odisha, Odisha State AIDS Control Society, like NACO I mentioned about national level initiative, national level organization, National AIDS Control Organization. So also in respective states, they have also initiated state mechanism has been created to deal with prevention of diseases, treatment, providing free condoms initially in red light areas with sex workers. They're closely working with truck drivers, closely working to control. Similarly, working with IDUs, injective drug users. You must have seen people taking drugs injection together in one injection, one series, multiple using people will be using. That is called IDU, injective drug users, IDUs. So with this population, they are the vulnerable populations. Awareness, treatment, and checkups, screening are being done, and as well as in order to prevent stigma, awareness efforts are also dedicated. So also for national leprosy mission or for leprosy programs, leprosy eradication, different programs are initiated, different colonies have been identified, and leprosy in India, you must have heard Mahatma independence war in non-violent way in India against British. So during independence struggle, Gandhiji also emphasized on leprosy care, prevention and treatment of leprosy patients. So leprosy service is our national agenda during our national movement for freedom. Because of that I mentioned about you about stigma, leprosy was considered, even today considered in many areas as curse. So leprosy came because the person is facing some curse. The patient is thrown away from family. the patient is thrown away from community because of the stigma. So, in national movement, during national movement, Mahatma Gandhi emphasized on working for the rights and treatment of leprosy patients. And again, the role of Mother Teresa. Have you heard her name? Mother Teresa?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. A saint, a nun, a saint. She is given the highest award of India, Bharat Ratna, because of her dedicated service for leprosy patients. So, being a charity worker, missionary, or civil society person, religious person, whatever you can call her, she established missionaries of charities, MC, in India and beyond also. And she worked particularly for leprosy patients. Now missionaries of charities are working for different other causes also, for children, for other causes also, but primarily the identity of missionaries of charity, MC, led by Mother Teresa, is for eradication of leprosy. Not only eradication, I'm talking treatment support, which is more important. Treatment support, because leprosy patients are most neglected community. They are, I can say, at the last bottom of the society, at the last bottom. They're having extreme poverty they are facing, extreme poverty, because for leprosy their hands are imputed, their legs are imputed, they lose their eyesight, different organs. So ultimately leprosy leads to disabilities, and they are thrown away from family, thrown away from community. Where they will go? Where they will go? Most abandoned community, most abandoned population. You see, we have tremendous role as social worker to play against all these discriminations, stigma in the society, in order to create a healthy society, healthy nation. We have to play a tremendous role. Government is also playing, and we can assist to the government also. Alone government cannot do anything else. Alone government will do, that is not possible. Only civil society can do. No, collaborative efforts. Now the time is partnership, collaborative efforts. Civil society, government, individuals, bureaucrats, media, corporate, all have to come together in order to bring greater happiness and greater change in the society. So here also, for as a social worker, we can play a role in diagnosis, treatment, prevention of stigma and all those. National leprosy eradication program has been also launched in India in order to cure, in order to deal with leprosy patients. So also for non-communicable diseases. There was time when communicable diseases were the headache for the world, for the country, for the world, for global community. Now the tension, more tension is seen in non-communicable diseases. More patients are dying in non-communicable diseases. What are those non-communicable diseases? Cancer, diabetes, hypertension, that is called blood pressure, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases. So first comes the ultimately the cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, diabetes, and cancer. So these are the four important non-communicable diseases which have become the headache, global headache for WHO. So also headache for India also, because large number of population is suffering from cardiovascular diseases, heart diseases. Large number of population, they're suffering from diabetes. There was time when hardly we were finding any person with diabetes, hardly. Now you go to any family, you ask, do you have any diabetes patient? They can, yes, we have. Maybe two, maybe five family members in a family, two will be diabetic. There are family, three will be diabetic. And in some cases, all family members are diabetic. There are cases also. So also hypertension. So also hypertension. So also cardiovascular disease. You must have come across recently in India. We are observing that many young people are dying of cardiac arrest or heart diseases. Are you experiencing the same in your own area? Are you experiencing?
Yes, sir. These are common illnesses amongst populations of African descent.
This, this has become very common
Very
Yes,
common.
sir.
because most
Also,
of the cardiac diseases or cardiovascular diseases are not identified. People are ignorant of their symptoms. They're not able to diagnose properly, and it is not also so easy to be diagnosed at ground level, at village level, because you need machines. Again, super specialist doctors, cardio specialist, cardiologist, in order to identify cardio diseases, cardiovascular diseases. So also cancer. You see, cancer can be possible in any part of the body, next to hair and nail, as like as tuberculosis I was mentioning. So also cancer can be possible in any part of human body. And you see, in India, most of the cancer is oral cancer, head and neck cancer. And all these cancers are linked to our tobacco habits and our alcohol. So number of oral cancers are being increasing. Tobacco alone is killing 2,500 Indian population daily, which is a great headache. Tuberculosis is killing 1,200 population every day, and your tobacco alone is killing 2,500 Indian population per day, which is bigger than the deaths caused by HIV/AIDS and malaria put together. You just imagine putting malaria and HIV together kill less population than tobacco alone. 10 lakh plus 10 lakh to 13 lakh Indian population per year. You see the how big number is. Not only oral cancer, the cancer among females, particularly breast cancer, cervical cancer, so also lungs cancer among men and women, everyone, because of smoking and because of ill environment, ill environment, pollutions, air pollutions. So it is quite difficult to breathe or to breathe properly. Now the situation has become. So different diseases are prevalent. Diabetes, blood pressure, heart disease. For these NCDs, non-communicable diseases, Government of India has also launched in mission mode eradication of a treatment for non-communicable diseases. So medical colleges are set up, teaching hospitals are set up, research organizations are working, free treatment for diagnosis and treatment for all this cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hypertension, cancer. Free treatment has been treatments are being provided to the population. And for non communicable diseases, they have identified that is called counseling centers in subdivision hospitals, in government district level hospitals, counseling centers. And so happy to say, In these counseling centers, our MSW, BSW people are very crucial professionals. Very crucial professionals. Many of my friends, even I have taught in a autonomous college for 10 years also, and I'm associated IGNU more than 15 years. So I have students from autonomous college, I have students from IGNU who are deployed, employed in as counselors in NCD clinics. This is called NCD clinics, non-communicable disease clinics or counseling centers, right from subdivisional hospitals in small township, and free diagnosis, diabetes diagnosis, blood test, urine test, and treatment followed by treatment. So also treatment is provided for blood pressure, hypertension, for cardiovascular diseases, for cancer, for diabetes. More or less, we have, as a social worker, we have tremendous role in connecting people with right kind of treatment. Diabetes patients, most of the diabetes patients, they do not know they are having diabetes. Similarly with hypertension patients, they do not know. They're feeling headache. Oh, for some reason I am feeling this and that. They neglect. They neglect, and treatment is delayed. As social worker, we can help the community in diagnosing, motivating them to come to the hospital. And for non-communicable disease, treatment takes long time, even for lifetime. For diabetes, for blood pressure, for cardiovascular disease, you have to take, might be you will be taking medicine for lifetime. And this has become now lifestyle disease. You have to manage it, not to cure this. You have to manage it. So manage means management. Management. That is again very difficult business. Lifetime you have to manage. Your lifestyle, your food, your everything, your sleeping pattern, everything will decide your disease, condition of your disease. So as social worker, we can help the community in all these things. Thank you so much for today. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice day, my colleagues.
Have a nice day too.